let's talk just a few slides just about the technical side of the software. And this is upper level technical. We used to ask you to get on Zen Connect at least on a quarterly basis, to have the IT guys go through it, make sure everything's current. With the new system, it really has put that off to just if you're having any technical issue. But as long as you're keeping up with your updates, both Windows and the NeurOptimal updates, we know you're getting it online at least once a week to make that happen. It's relatively stable. Biggest issues at times are, at least currently, Windows will make some change in theirs that we haven't been prepared for. And the most egregious one recently, one of the Windows updates knocked out GeForce, the client window, the shapes and the colors. We quickly came up with the fix of that, which was uninstall and reinstall GeForce, and that was posted all over Facebook. So it was, if you looked, it was easy to find that fix, and then it was, of course, fixed in the next major update of, one of the 20 updates that NeurOptimal has gone through. So, those sort of things. Some people were getting on the Zen Connects because of all of a sudden GeForce was gone. It's that sort of thing, and those guys are great guys, and one girl now. They're great at jumping in and fixing those things. And more than likely, if you're having an issue, it's one they've already seen and are working on. But with that, let's play one quick video, more to introduce you to Johnny. As anything else, he's going to talk about allowing your system to do its updates. We beat that into the ground, but Johnny is basically heads up the area that does all of the construction of the systems, following up on the technical side of things.
Hi, my name is Johnny Diavadis. I am the Director of Technical Operations at Zengar. I was fortunate enough to join the Zengar family in 2014, and I can't tell you how amazing it feels to be a part of a team that helps transform people's lives. Today, I want to introduce you to your new best friend, the Start panel. In order to access the Start panel, all you need to do is click on the Windows icon, which is located on the taskbar, as well as the keyboard itself. Here you will find all the tools you need to help keep your system well maintained. The Windows Update icon, disk cleanup, disk optimization, as well as FAQs can all be found on the Start panel. So I urge you to become very familiar and very friendly with your new best friend in order to keep your system healthy and happy.
Just wanted to kind of highlight in this technical area all the different things that you can do for self-help if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're having an issue. So I came up with this path that, help, I've got a problem. The number one thing I want you to do when you have an issue is take a screen snip of that issue and save it. If you get an error message or something doesn't look right to you, in the tray of your computer it's got a white background and it looks like a pair of scissors. That's to take a screen snip. If you do that, if you click on those scissors, you just have to say, I want a new one, and then you get to draw a box around whatever you want. And then please make sure you save that, because that's going to come into play later. If you end up having to call into a Zen Connect and you say, 3 days ago, I got this error message that said something like FXB259, please restart. Something stupid. They're going to say, well, there's no error message that says that. and then you'll have to go through kind of reconstructing what happened. But if you can send them this snip of exactly what your screen looked like, it just speeds things up exponentially. So always do that if you've got anything that can help. And let me emphasize saving it. Okay, because once you reboot the computer, it's going to clear out the temporary cache of that. Then the first step is always to restart NeurOptimal. Close it and restart it. That clears up so many little glitches. If it's been running 7 sessions all day today and now it's got a little glitch, just restart it. If that doesn't clear it, reboot the computer, close out NeurOptimal, restart the computer. That many times will take care of something. So I tell you now, familiarize yourself with those frequently asked questions. Familiarize yourself with the need to know. And on the home screen, on the start screen, this is what I've referred to a couple different times. Down in the lower left corner, there's a little Windows button icon. Clicking on that will open up this start screen, and that's what maybe you're more comfortable seeing, the screen full of all the icons and all the different things you can do. There's a lot on that, so familiarize yourself with that page. Many times the answer is there. The how-to videos are down in the tools icon. So you can go to that and you can click through to get all of the how-to videos to see if any of those address your issue. The technical support team has their own YouTube channel, and I'd recommend that you all follow that channel. You just go to YouTube. The easiest way is go to YouTube, search for NeurOptimal technical support. And what will come up is a whole screen full of 20 or 30 second to 2-minute little videos walking you through, hey, G-force isn't showing on your system, do this, this. It's a tremendous source of information for you there. And if you subscribe to it, you just get notification every time they post a new one. So a great step in trying to self-heal your computer. Most of these issues that come up have already been solved, and people have discussed them in Facebook. If you're a past member, you have access to the NeurOptimal past support page. If you're not, you have access to the NeurOptimal community Facebook page. Facebook has a little search box on the left-hand side. You could search for G-force gone or just G-force, and it would come up with any of the last times there were discussions about G-force within the support group page. Possibly cure your issue by finding out how other people have cured that issue. If that doesn't work, you can post your snip to the past page. I tell you, we've got a guy by the name of Craig Walker. If you haven't run across Craig yet, you probably haven't been on the Facebook pages yet. I don't know that he ever sleeps. I see, people posting things all the time and him answering all the time. This doesn't work, this doesn't work. Please answer this. The other thing is he's got the patience of Job, because I see him answering the same question over and over and over again. If all else fails all the way up here, reach out on the Facebook page. I don't care if it's midnight in whatever time zone Craig's in. He's either on the East Coast or the West Coast in the US, but he seems to answer all the time. Post it in there. Probably you can get your question answered there. And then finally, we've done all this self-help stuff, just simply can't figure it out. Get on the IT support. We're going to talk more about actually how to click through the website and get that. The downfall with that, they're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time, US Eastern time. That 12 hours can help most people in some way. The East Coast, 6 hours difference than Europe, or at least France and England. So you lose a little bit in the nighttime there, but there's times that you can get in there. Our people from Australia have the hardest time getting into it in that, but hopefully they've put enough pieces in place to self-empower you, to self-heal your system. You're not hanging out there in the middle of the night or something. In the manual are also these tips and troubleshooting. Internet connection, we really touched on that. Hardware registration, I want to talk about on this page specifically. once you get your system, or many of you have just gotten your systems, the best thing to do is go to Microsoft and register that system, because you can then put in a purchase date. If you don't do that and you have an issue, the only thing Microsoft can do is go back to the date that they sold it to Zengar. So it may have sat in queue, I don't know, 6 weeks, 2 months, depending on how many they're buying at a time. And so you've substantially decreased your Microsoft hardware warranty. Now, granted, most issues that we ever have had with any hardware type issues, they crop up pretty darn quickly. So, it's not very often you get 4 months into something electronic and then it has an issue. We test them pretty hard before we send them out too. They're all, individually built and tested and run through sessions and kind of a burn-in sort of a thing. But occasionally there's an issue, and we want you to be as covered as you can. Also, on Microsoft's website, you can opt for an extended warranty. It's just through them. That warranty can even take care of drops and shatters and things like that. If you want to pay for it, it's there for you to do. Antivirus registration. All systems come with ESET antivirus now. As long as it's on the internet, it'll go out to their site, validate the license. You have to just put in your name and email address, and then it will go through and do an initial update of the software and scan like any other antivirus. As long as you continue to be a past member, antivirus renewals are free. You just have to request it. Okay, and then finally, keep the operating system language in English. NeurOptimal is written in English. It works within Windows 10, and so it's communicating in English terms between the two. The calls to and from the software to the operating system are all in English. So if you change the operating language, Windows 10 language, to say German, things are not going to work. And you're going to end up on a Zen Connect, and it's going to take a little bit to fix all that. Just please keep the operating language the same. The most common error messages that you will see is this one: no ZAMP is found. Most all of the time, that's because we've gotten busy and we've forgotten to either plug the USB cable into the computer or into the other end of the ZAMP. I still, to this day, will have that occasionally. Or it's just simply not tight. It's worked its way loose on one end or the other. So best way to deal with that, make sure both ends are in and tight, try again. If that doesn't work, restart the system like we talked before about and try again. If that doesn't work, all the systems are shipped now with an extra USB cable. This is why we do this. Swap out the USB cable and try again. If that doesn't resolve the problem, then you probably need to log on to a Zen Connect. And that's when they'll get in there and they'll do those ZAMP tests, and they'll ask you, is it really plugged in, and have you really traded out the USB cables, and they'll figure that out. So we're going to have a little bit more on this one. Lisa's going through the computer, but I wanted to go through right now in the technical side and talk about these Zen Connects. If you have never had to do this yet, for one, that's great, and that's very typical. But if it does happen, you're going to go to the website, to NeurOptimal's website. This one, I can tell I'm already clicked into my past membership area. You all got past preview at this time, so you have a past login, so you'll be able to get to this place. If you haven't, you can still go to technical support and get into a Zen Connect. But for the most part, I'm going to come as though you're a past member. One of the first things that comes up is an icon that says Zen Connect. By clicking on that, you'll come to the technical support page, which is where people are still going to this day to upgrade to NO3 from version 2.0. On this support page, many times there are announcements. Here's another one that says, G-force or your sound settings reset, a recent Windows update may knock them out. Click here for an easy 3-minute fix. So we're again giving some self-help area. If it's out of time or you don't want to wait for the Zen Connect or whatever, here's a way to take care of it yourself. And then down at the bottom of that page is a live support Zen Connect. Past member, click here. My rental clients, they're having an issue, can click down here. Personal assistance members, these are the personal versions versus the pro version. And if none of that works for you, we can come over here and we can book an appointment. Let's do this tomorrow at 2 o'clock or whatever. And then you don't have to go through any waiting. Most of the time, and I get on these quite often because we have a lot of systems, or I'm helping other people with systems. And by quite often, I mean once every couple of weeks. It's not even that often, considering how many systems we have. Most of the time, 3-minute wait to get the next person or something like that, it really hasn't been much. Now, you also can book a time where they will talk to you too. If you're one that just simply doesn't like the computer, doesn't like the chat window, you can book a time, and these are just a short period of time when there's multiple Zen Connect technicians there. They'll allow times that you can pick up the phone and talk to them, and they can say, do you see this place? Click here. Do you see that place? Click there. And for some, that works a little easier. Most of the time, when you start a Zen Connect, you put in what your issue is, and they just take over. When you initiate this, so I've just on the prior screen clicked, let's go to the Zen Connect. They'll ask you to start a session, put in your name, start. It's like installing anything else. Just follow the positive responses. Let's open this. Let's run this. Yes, allow it to do something to my computer. And once you work through all those positive steps, thing will come up, say you're connected. Hello, you're now connected. We'll be right with you, kind of thing. And you have the ability to put in here, hey, my G-force is gone, or I can't do this, or whatever it is. They'll come on and they'll take control, and then you just watch the mouse move around and the computer look like it's possessed, and they'll just fix it. They'll just fix it or tell you what you need to do. Very, very rarely it might be the ZAMP's having an issue. We're going to overnight one to you, send us yours, and we'll take care of it or something like that. This process, it goes through this every time you start a session. You start a Zen Connect session, okay? And the reason it does that is it installs a little piece of software that allows them to take control of your computer. And then when you're done, it uninstalls that. So there is never a method for them just to get on your computer to see what's going on, or to steal your client data or whatever. That you're really insulated from that happening because the software is in fact gone. The downside with that is you have to allow it to install it every time. It's really, really quick. It's a small little kernel, but it will happen every time. And then there are the videos, the webinar videos. This webinar by Samantha in French, watch now. There's a wealth of information in there on NeurOptimals that Val himself has presented, which you might want to take advantage of. He talks at another level, and honestly, I enjoy listening to him in video form like that because I can stop and back up and listen to it again and that sort of thing. But there's a lot of learning to be had there. This is that technical support frequently asked questions page that I referred to in that little ribbon, the self-help ribbon, and talks about all these things, from the Wi-Fi, Zen Connects, ESETs, my Surface Pro tablet feels warm. I mean, loads and loads of common questions. So familiarize yourself with those.